Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Translating an idea into action. A hard theory to put into practice. A customary way of operation or behavior. It is their practice to give annual raises. Avail oneself to. Practice a religion. Systematic training by multiple repetitions. Practice makes perfect. Learn by repetition. Pianists practice scales. Engage in a rehearsal of. Engage in or perform. Practice safe sex. Carry out or practice, as of jobs and professions. Practice law. Knowledge of how something is usually done. It is not the local practice to wear shorts to dinner. The exercise of a profession. The practice of the law. Translating an idea into action. Differences between theory and praxis of communism. A customary way of operation or behavior. They changed their dietary pattern. A perceptual structure. A visual pattern must include not only objects but the spaces between them. Something intended as a guide for making something else. A pattern for a skirt. A decorative or artistic work. The path that is prescribed for an airplane that is preparing to land at an airport. The traffic patterns around O'Hare are very crowded. Something regarded as a normative example. Graphical representation, in polar or Cartesian coordinates, of the spatial distribution of radiation from an antenna as a function of angle. Plan or create according to a model or models. A model considered worthy of imitation. The American Constitution has provided a pattern for many republics. Form a pattern. These sentences pattern like the ones we studied before. Be pertinent or relevant or applicable. The same laws apply to you. Avail oneself to. Apply a principle. Be applicable to, as to an analysis. Apply to a surface. Give or convey physically. Ensure observance of laws and rules. Put into service. Make work or employ for a particular purpose or for its inherent or natural purpose. I apply this rule to get good results. Apply oneself to. Please apply yourself to your homework. Ask for something. Apply for a job. Refer, a word or name, to a person or thing. Exerting shrewd or devious influence especially for one's own advantage. Use up, consume fully. Avail oneself to. Use care when going down the stairs. Economics. The utilization of economic goods to satisfy needs or in manufacturing. The act of using. He warned against the use of narcotic drugs. Take or consume, regularly or habitually. She uses drugs rarely. What something is used for. Ballet is beautiful, but what use is it? Psychology. An automatic pattern of behavior in reaction to a specific situation. May be inherited or acquired through frequent repetition. Long use had hardened him to it. Law. the exercise of the legal right to enjoy the benefits of owning property. We were given the use of his boat. Put into service. Make work or employ for a particular purpose or for its inherent or natural purpose. Use your head. A particular service. He put his knowledge to good use. Habitually do something or be in a certain state or place, use only in the past tense. She used to call her mother every week, but now she calls only occasionally. Seek or achieve an end by using to one's advantage. She uses her influential friends to get jobs. Make a hole, especially with a pointed power or hand tool. Don't drill here, there's a gas pipe. Systematic training by multiple repetitions. Learn by repetition. We drilled French verbs every day. Similar to the mandrel but smaller and less brightly colored. A tool with a sharp point and cutting edges for making holes in hard materials, usually rotating rapidly or by repeated blows. Military, the training of soldiers to march, as in ceremonial parades, or to perform the manual of arms. Teach by repetition. Train in the military, e.g., in the use of weapons. Undergo military training or do military exercises. Systematic training by multiple repetitions. Learn by repetition. The act of using. The activity of exerting your muscles in various ways to keep fit. The doctor recommended regular exercise. Do physical exercise. Give a workout to. Some parents exercise their infants. A task performed or problem solved in order to develop skill or understanding. Carry out or practice, as of jobs and professions. Put to use. An action, often used negatively and without consequences. An exercise in futility. Usually plural, a ceremony that involves processions and speeches. Academic exercises. Systematic training by multiple repetitions. A regularly scheduled session as part of a course of study. Systematic training by multiple repetitions. A public instance of reciting or repeating, from memory, something prepared in advance. The program included songs and recitations of well-loved poems. Written matter that is recited from memory. Learn by repetition. Engage in a rehearsal, of. Carry out or practice, as of jobs and professions. Engage in a rehearsal, of. Give entirely to a specific person, activity, or cause. She committed herself to the work of God. Perform an act, usually with a negative connotation. Cause to be admitted, of persons to an institution. After the second episode, she had to be committed. Make an investment. Engage in or perform. Commit a random act of kindness. Confer a trust upon. I commit my soul to God. Doctor's degree in osteopathy. Carry out or perform an action. Carry on or function. We could do with a little more help around here. Be sufficient. Be adequate, either in quality or quantity. Will $100 do? create or design, often in a certain way. Get something done. An uproarious party. Behave in a certain manner. Show a certain behavior, conduct or comport oneself. What makes her do this way? Give rise to. Cause to happen or occur, not always intentionally. Proceed or get along. How is she doing in her new job? Engage in. Do research. Carry out or practice, as of jobs and professions. Arrange attractively. Spend time in prison or in a labor camp. The syllable naming the first, tonic, note of any major scale in psalmization. Travel or traverse, a distance. This car does 150 miles per hour. The act of implementing, providing a practical means for accomplishing something, carrying into effect. The act of accomplishing some aim or executing some order. The agency was created for the implementation of the policy. The act of implementing, providing a practical means for accomplishing something, carrying into effect. An organic process that takes place in the body. Respiratory activity. The state of being active. His sphere of activity. The trait of being active, moving or acting rapidly and energetically. The level of activity declines with age. A process existing in or produced by nature, rather than by the intent of human beings. Volcanic activity. Any specific behavior. They avoided all recreational activity. Chemistry, the capacity of a substance to take part in a chemical reaction. Catalytic activity. Activity leading to skilled behavior. The result of good upbringing, especially knowledge of correct social behavior. The cognitive process of thinking about what you will do in the event of something happening. The act of preparing something, as food, by the application of heat. He left the preparation of meals to his wife. A substance prepared according to a formula. The physician prescribed a commercial preparation of the medicine. Activity leading to skilled behavior. The activity of putting or setting in order in advance of some act or purpose. Preparations for the ceremony had begun. The state of having been made ready or prepared for use or action, especially military action. Their preparation was more than adequate. Preparatory school work done outside school, especially at home. Music. A note that produces a dissonant chord as first heard in a consonant chord. The resolution of one dissonance is often the preparation for another dissonance. The activity of getting dressed, putting on clothes. Activity leading to skilled behavior. Have or contain a certain wording or form. The passage reads as follows. Make sense of a language. Can you read Greek? Obtain data from magnetic tapes or other digital sources. This dictionary can be read by the computer. Indicate a certain reading, of gauges and instruments. The gauge read, empty. Interpret something in a certain way. Convey a particular meaning or impression. I read this address as a satire. Be a student of a certain subject. She is reading for the bar exam. Audition for a stage role by reading parts of a role. Interpret something that is written or printed. Read the advertisement. Interpret the significance of, as of palms, tea leaves, intestines, the sky, also of human behavior. She read the sky and predicted rain. Look at, interpret, and say out loud something that is written or printed. The king will read the proclamation at noon. Something that is read. The article was a very good read. To hear and understand. I read you loud and clear. Commit to memory. Learn by heart. Impart skills or knowledge to. Get to know or become aware of, usually accidentally. I learned that she has 2 grown-up children. Find out, learn, or determine with certainty, usually by making an inquiry or other effort. Gain knowledge or skills. She learned dancing from her sister. Be a student of a certain subject. A branch of knowledge. Anthropology is the study of human beings. Give careful consideration to. Applying the mind to learning and understanding a subject, especially by reading. No schools offer graduate study in interior design. Attentive consideration and meditation. Preliminary drawing for later elaboration. Think intently and at length, as for spiritual purposes. He is meditating in his study. Learn by reading books. He is studying geology in his room. A detailed critical inspection. A written document describing the findings of some individual or group. This accords with the recent study by Hill and Dale. Be a student of a certain subject. Consider in detail and subject to an analysis in order to discover essential features or meaning. A composition intended to develop one aspect of the performer's technique. A study in spiccato bowing. A room used for reading and writing and studying. He knocked lightly on the closed door of the study. A state of deep mental absorption. She is in a deep study. Be a student. Follow a course of study. Be enrolled at an institute of learning. Someone who memorizes quickly and easily, as the lines for a part in a play. He is a quick study. The income or profit arising from such transactions as the sale of land or other property. Be capable of holding or containing. This box won't take all the items. Remove something concrete, as by lifting, pushing, or taking off, or remove something abstract. Take the gun from your pocket. Serve oneself to, or consume regularly. I don't take sugar in my coffee. Make a film or photograph of something. Take a scene. Be designed to hold or take. This surface will not take the dye. Require, time or space. Take somebody somewhere. Can you take me to the main entrance? Have sex with. Archaic use. He had taken this woman when she was most vulnerable. Have with oneself. Have on one's person. She always takes an umbrella. Receive or obtain regularly. We take the Times every day. Admit into a group or community. Head into a specified direction. Pick out, select, or choose from a number of alternatives. Take into consideration for exemplifying purposes. Assume, as of positions or roles. Interpret something in a certain way. Convey a particular meaning or impression. How should I take this message? Lay claim to, as of an idea. Accept or undergo, often unwillingly. Make use of or accept for some purpose. Take a risk. Take something or somebody with oneself somewhere. Engage for service under a term of contract. Shall we take a guide in Rome? Be stricken by an illness, fall victim to an illness. Take on a certain form, attribute, or aspect. Take as an undesirable consequence of some event or state of affairs. Get into one's hands, take physically. Can you take this bag, please? Require as useful, just, or proper. It takes nerve to do what she did. Occupy or take on. Receive willingly something given or offered. Be a student of a certain subject. Proceed along in a vehicle. Point or cause to go, blows, weapons, or objects such as photographic equipment, towards. Ascertain or determine by measuring, computing or take a reading from a dial. Take a pulse. Be seized or affected in a specified way. Take sick. Buy, select. I'll take a pound of that sausage. Carry out. Take action. Experience or feel or submit to. Obtain by winning. Winner takes all. Take by force. Take into one's possession. I'll take 3 salmon steaks. The act of photographing a scene or part of a scene without interruption. Travel or go by means of a certain kind of transportation, or a certain route. He takes the bus to work. Carry out or perform an action. The skater executed a triple pirouette. Kill as a means of socially sanctioned punishment. In some states, criminals are executed. Carry out a process or program, as on a computer or a machine. The computer executed the instruction. Put in effect. Execute the decision of the people. Carry out the legalities of. Execute a will or a deed. Murder in a planned fashion. The mafioso who collaborated with the police was executed. Sign in the presence of witnesses. The president executed the treaty. Carry out or perform an action. Get something done. Give a performance of something. Horowitz is performing at Carnegie Hall tonight. Perform a function. Who will perform the wedding? Carry out or participate in an activity. Be involved in. Conduct a prosecution in a court of law. Bring a criminal action against, in a trial. The state of California prosecuted O.J. Simpson. Carry out or participate in an activity. Be involved in. She pursued many activities. Follow in or as if in pursuit. The police car pursued the suspected attacker. Go in search of or hunt for. Pursue a hobby. Carry further or advance. Consume all of one's attention or time. Carry out or participate in an activity. Be involved in. They engaged in a discussion. Engage or hire for work. Give to in marriage. Carry on, wars, battles, or campaigns. Engage for service under a term of contract. Keep engaged. Engage the gears. Hire for work or assistance. Engage aid, help, services, or support. Ask to represent. Of legal counsel. Get caught. Make sure the gear is engaged. The psychological result of perception in learning and reasoning. The psychological result of perception in learning and reasoning. The psychological result of perception in learning and reasoning.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.